I got this picture. I bought it
Ah,
directly.
why was there nothing, no warning? That was terrifying.
I know it's a terrifying picture.
How long did it
Actually,
take them to draw you? How long did that take?
no. You think this is me?
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about the things that I have to talk about with you because this is another surprise Justin episode. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 stories today. Not much because we have a DCOM to revisit at the end of our episode. We are revisiting
Yep.
BRINK today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that one.
I am too.
Welcome to History of Popcorn, your secret public movie club, where we tell you some interesting films that are coming and interesting projects that we find interesting, as well as being entertaining along the way. We hope you guys join us on this adventure of a podcast.
I'm ready for
Here
it.
we go. This first project is called Spiral, but it's not from the Book of Saw. This is a movie called Spiral. It's produced by Drake with Selena Gomez attached to star. And it's a horror film, it sounds like. It's a story of Spiral follows a former influencer whose addiction to social media is causing her body to literally fall apart. And they're shipping it around.
That's a little
to
on the nose.
services. And Petra Collins is directing this. It'll be her first time directing a film. She's directed some music videos like Boy Problems by Carly Rae Jepsen. Selena Gomez featuring Gucci Mane's Fetish music video. And she's also done a Gucci campaign advertisement for them. And she also did this like weird Instagram short video thing with Selena Gomez or something, like this short video or short movie. It's on IMDb. It's called A Love Story. And I think it's what inspired this movie. Spiral, it's called right now. It's probably going to change because of Spiral, the Book of Saw.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine so.
But yeah, there's this thing called a Love Story, which is directed by Petra Collins, if you look it up, which Selena Gomez is in. And it's very eerie. The music is good. It's very you can tell. I think I can't actually, it's got this like weird glow to it and stuff. And it's like you can tell there's something going on in this, something unnerving, because it's like Selena Gomez just doing this stuff around the house, and then she like ends up kind of shaving her leg or something with this big ass knife, but it's like she's shaving cake frosting off her legs and stuff. And it's like this really unnerving thing. Yeah, it's probably like maybe a minute and a half long or something, and it's like very artistic driven. You can tell it's like it looks like glimpses of a music video, but it was just like a short film or something. And I think that was what they were shipping around, of like, this is kind of the vibe we want to go with for this film, which is really interesting to me if you watch the footage, which is why I kept it in. I was like, huh, interesting. Because the more
when
I
did they
read up
announce
on
this?
This was announced like end of April, very, very end of April, like on the 30th or something. Drake's producing in his team, and they're looking for streaming services to look for it. I think it's going to go to HBO Max because Selena Gomez has a cookie show on that.
Oh, really?
But yeah, when I was researching about this, see, I have a weird thing. I don't know if I'm going to be into it. I hope I'm going to like it because I'm a big Selena Gomez fan. I don't know about Drake because I don't know how about him producing. I think this is going to be a very watered down project. I don't know what Drake's producing is like. I feel like it's going to be watered down. I said this to someone, my friend Riley, we're going to have on the show sometime soon. That if they're going to do it a body horror film, they're going to have to do something drastically different than what's been trending these last few years. Like there's this movie on Netflix that came out, like where there's people like there's a lot of body horror films coming out on Netflix and even on Hulu.
But so check it out. So I'm pulled up Drake's producing credits
for films.
And one of the first movie that he's produced that came out is that movie Spree.
Okay.
With Gio Kiri.
That wasn't bad.
I didn't see that one yet because
it's not bad.
I liked the trailer, and he also is an executive producer for Euphoria.
I've only seen the first season. Okay. He's got a good. He's got a good track record so far. So that's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not a lot, but I mean, like that definitely is something.
Yeah, those are definitely prevalent prevalent titles, especially right now with a voice like with very independent, not independent, but strong voices. Yeah, I think what
Yeah,
is going to come,
so you know, like,
that gives me a little bit more hope about this movie too. Hopefully it's not called Spiral. Don't do that.
yeah, don't call it Spiral. I'm the only thing for me is Selena Gomez. I'm not a fan for acting. I don't think she's been in anything so far that has really wowed me.
Mhm.
Like she was in
I haven't been blown
she's
away
like
by
in
her
it
acting
briefly.
either. Yeah, I agree.
No, like she was in this thing briefly called The Dead Don't Die, the
Oh
Jim
yeah,
Jarmusch
yeah.
movie, Bill Murray.
So bizarre.
And she shows up. Yeah, it's a very weird movie already, but when she shows up, it's like her and like these other two actors, and all of them just feel so misplaced because they're all saying it's like watching, which is ironic because Selena Gomez was in a Woody Allen movie, but it's
Mhm.
like seeing a young actor be in a Woody Allen movie where it's like you can totally tell you have no idea what you're really saying, but you know, like it's because you're saying like there's one line especially as she says in that where like they're at this gas station and she like turns and she says to the store clerk, "Your movie knowledge is impressive." And just
Oh
her just
yeah.
saying that, it was like that was such a weird line for her to say. I don't
That
think
was for all.
anybody.
That was for me. That was for the film nerds for her to say. Just be
Uh,
like,
yeah, I guess that's true.
that's it. That's
The
it.
film
Jim
knowledge is
Jarmusch knew that.
impressive.
That's it. Every person watching a Jim Jarmusch movie is just
That's
like,
funny. Oh, thank God we got Selena Gomez and
that's
booty
it.
shorts
Because
saying
she's not in it very long, like you
film
said.
knowledge is
She's
impressive.
there for the wow or like the
Yeah,
yeah,
she has no point in being there.
which is
She has
really
no
funny for
business being
Jim
there.
Jarmusch. I think is
Yeah,
an interesting choice.
it's like
But
watching Miley Cyrus in that one Woody Allen show. It's just like she says some things. I'm like, what?
did you say
That
Miley
doesn't seem
Cyrus?
natural. Yeah, Miley Cyrus was in this
Oh
Woody Allen
yeah, that
Amazon show
Amazon,
back in like 2015.
that's 6 stories or whatever.
Yeah, Crisis in six chapters,
Oh yeah.
something like
When
that. It wasn't
I was reading another
good.
thing about this when I was reading up on Selena Gomez. She is also making a Hulu series with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
That's
Yeah,
important
it's
right
called.
there.
That's why. Yeah, I was like, I have to talk about this too if we're going to talk about Selena Gomez because she just finished shooting it last month, April, like the end of April. It's called
What?
Only Murders in the Building. It's by the it follows three strangers who share an obsession with true crime and suddenly find themselves caught up in one. And it's the three of them. It's
What?
Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And Nathan Lane sometimes apparently it says he's a reoccurring role.
What?
Yeah, right now
It's
those are the
created by
only
Steve
four
Martin.
names. Yeah. And Hulu bought it. It's supposed to come out later
What?
this year, I think, or maybe early next year. They finished shooting it. That's all I
It's
know.
yeah, they said 2021. What?
Right?
This is awesome.
I'm very interested to see what it's going to
I'm
be like. Like, have you seen the movie Private Eyes with Don Knotts?
oh yeah.
I hope this is kind of like that with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
And Martin Short.
I saw them
That
live,
sounds
dude.
awesome.
I saw them live.
Yeah,
That
no, I'm
was
jealous. I'm
ridiculous.
jealous of you.
I'm gonna tell my grandchildren about that when they went on tour for their stand-up. It was so great.
These guys, the guy that it's Steve Martin that's created, but also John Hoffman who did Good Boy, a dog movie.
2000. What year is that?
The
2003.
Emoji Movie, did additional screenplay material for that. It
Most recently,
wrote
Grace
5
and
episodes. Yeah, 5 episodes of Grace and Frankie, and he also wrote some special stuff for the good old Oscars and 2020.
I saw that. Just
oh, he also directed Good Boy.
yeah, that was just like his big
Good Boy was his passion project.
I've been
Good Boy was like
I've been
his
dying
peak.
to tell this story, holding the script.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, Hollywood, sit down, put your pants back on. I got something for you." So
Yeah.
there are some set photos too, just Selena Gomez.
Ooh, I haven't.
walking
Oh
with
yeah, I've seen
headphones.
this.
I'm
Selena
curious
Gomez.
about this,
She looks like she belongs in the 70s.
dude. This.
But I don't think it's
Yeah,
70s.
no,
I think
this
it's
is
modern time. I think that's just her hip look. I like Selena Gomez as a person, so yeah, we just see. There's two contrasting projects. We'll see.
we haven't seen Steve Martin in anything in like a decade. I think the last movie he starred in was Pink Panther 2.
It's been a very long time, but I think he's making a comeback. No, he's been in a few smaller movies. He did sort of a Mike Myers thing where he did a couple like one scene roles where he doesn't do a single joke, sort of thing.
Yeah, like the Big Year or It's Complicated. Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah,
did those too.
Yep.
Those
The
were his
bird
last ones
watching.
though.
Who
After
thought it was a
that,
good idea to make a bird watching movie?
I know, right? Dude, I liked that movie only because I
I know,
liked
I
seeing
liked it
Steve
too. I was just
Martin
like, who
and
thought that that
Jack
would be a good
Black.
idea? How did they get that made?
Yeah,
Three bird
yeah,
watchers
yeah.
and a
No,
rivalry. That sounds like a 50s movie or like
it
even
was
a 40s
definitely a
movie.
boring. It was definitely a boring movie. That's for
It was
damn sure.
wow, let's hang out with this talent for 3 months.
Yep, quite literally, and that's why I don't fault anybody for working on the movie, even though
Yeah.
I'm sure it sounded like boring as hell. But it's like, dude, I get to work with Steve Martin for like 3 months.
Mhm.
I'm in. I will do it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. That I'm looking forward to. I can see Selena Gomez doing some good
Yeah,
there
I hope
because
she
Steve
does
Martin is a great
some.
writer
I
too.
hope she shows that she has depth to her personality on screen as an actress. I like her as
Yeah,
a person. That's a and I like her music. And that's about it. I don't like her acting roles yet, which I can confirm that I have not been blown away by her talent as an actress. I hope I see it portrayed in these projects.
yeah, no, her acting is definitely lackluster. Definitely
Maybe she's
lacking.
just got to do it more. Maybe that's the problem. She's just got to do good writing.
Yeah, but I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't
like
know what it is.
that just, I mean, like, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe she is just like not getting the roles that she wants,
Mhm.
and that's why she doesn't really appear that many things anymore. But before, like, it was really apparent to me when I saw Spring Breakers, where I was like, when I saw the trailer, I was like, damn, okay, these girls are taking some risks right here.
Yeah, they're
And when
really.
you see it, it's like it shows how great of an actress Vanessa Hudgens is,
Mhm.
because she's like pretty much unrecognizable in that role. And
Yeah, she
Vanessa
really
Hudgens
stuck. She
does
stuck through
things.
it.
Yeah, and she also does a lot of things now. Like she doesn't do a lot, but when she does appear
Well,
in a
she's
movie,
coming
it's
back. Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, when she does appear in a movie, it's like, damn, okay, sweet, like you delivered.
Like she was
But
my favorite
Selena
part. She
Gomez,
was one of my favorite parts of the new Bad Boys. I was like, I hope they make a spin-off with those characters that she was in.
oh yeah, she was in the new Bad Boys.
She was like that new task force. I thought they were I thought they were gonna pull a Deadpool 2 and kill the whole task force, right? When they first introduced them. And I was like, that would have been awesome. But they didn't. Or like the other guys where it's just
Uh,
like they take them out right away.
right,
Speaking of the other guys, Adam McKay made that film. We're talking about another Adam
he
McKay
did.
film, which we talked about off air after one of our episodes. But I want to talk about this movie called Don't Look Up.
Uh-huh.
Adam McKay's next film with Netflix, which is supposedly a comedy, but it's a
Yeah,
disaster.
that kind of shocks me.
It's a disaster film. Let me tell you the story of Don't Look Up if you don't know. It's very easily described in the way they describe it. It just says Don't Look
Mhm.
Up is the story of two low-level astronomers who must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. Directed by Adam McKay.
That sounds hysterical. Everybody's
Man.
doom. Dude, yeah, no, we should say the fucking cast here too, because
Yes.
the cast is the thing. Like Adam McKay directing
Mhm.
is perfect, but
He
he
knows how to
brought,
handle big casts, I think.
yeah, no, he knows how to handle ensemble, and he brought in an ensemble.
Yeah. So we have Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer
Um,
Lawrence,
uh,
Rob Morgan, Meryl Streep
what?
as the
Who?
president of the United States, Tyler Perry, Kate
Oh my
Blanchett,
god.
Timothy Chalamet, Jonah
Oh my.
Hill
Oh,
as Meryl Streep's son, the son of the president,
nice.
Ron Perlman, Mark Rylance, Chris Evans, Matthew Perry, Ariana Grande, Michael Chiklis, Hamish Patel, which is really cool. He's from Yesterday, and Kid
Yeah.
Cudi as DJ Cello. There's a lot of people on this.
I don't know about you. The most shocking thing to me was Matthew Perry.
I think he's going to play a politician of some sort, right?
Yeah, probably. He's the only one that isn't listed too.
He might be the vice president or something, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I love how they brought in Matthew Perry because he's been gone for too long.
What other
Yeah, no, this is
disaster
amazing.
films are there? Can you think of from the top of your head? They don't have to be
Day After
comedies,
Tomorrow,
obviously. Day After Tomorrow, Armageddon,
Armageddon,
Deep Impact. That scarred
Deep
me. That scared
Impact.
me really bad.
Yeah, no, they're Eight-Legged Freaks.
Ooh, well, no. Well, I guess that's a disaster film. Yes, I like that film.
Yeah, it's
I
a
want
bunch
to
of
do a box
dude,
office redux of that film.
having just having one little spider is a disaster for me. Having a fucking 8-foot one,
Arachnophobia was too
I'm
much. Eight-legged freaks. This is too much.
yeah, dude. No, arachnophobia was a little too much.
But yes,
Yeah.
that's whole spider
Um.
things. There's also Day After Tomorrow, which I liked. A lot of people didn't like. I found out later on.
Yeah, the
I
day after
didn't know
tomorrow
that
is one of my favorite. You know, the
because
day
I
after
saw it in the
tomorrow
theater.
is the reason why. Yeah, I did too. That movie that was the reason why Trey Parker and Matt Stone had the idea to do Team America World Police
No
was because
way.
they saw The Day After Tomorrow and they were like, this is so bad. We want to do a shot by shot remake, but with puppets. And the studio was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, let's just do this
Well,
movie called Team America
well,
then.
what about puppets? And then they're like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
something else with puppets.
Yeah.
That's affordable. That's funny.
Dude, no, I like The Day After Tomorrow too. It's just such a fun, silly,
I haven't
silly.
seen it in a while though, but I like Jake Gyllenhaal and I like just
There's a
those
lot of
disaster
people in
films.
that. There's Dennis Quaid.
But
Isn't that
there's been
shit
like a
too?
lot of like Gerard Butler's been in like a lot of disaster films lately. Greenland. What is
Into the
that? Green.
Storm,
Yeah,
right? Wasn't
or
he in that?
Geostorm. Yeah,
Geostorm.
there's all these
Yeah.
like disaster films that are just going over people's head, like those. Yeah, and now they're trying to make another one, but this one's going to be different, obviously, because it's Adam McKay. But and they're also saying it's a comedy. They've done another, like I've seen another disaster film comedy, which was Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. Did you see that one? Keira Knightley.
Yeah, and that was very sad.
That's very bleak, and I think that's what they're
That
going
was
to
a
go
sad
with
ass
in the
movie.
route of this one,
Yeah.
because at the end of Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, spoiler alert for the next 5 seconds, the world ends, and they just like they're
Yeah,
just
they
like,
fucking
okay,
die.
they just sort of like, okay, here we go, and then the whole screen just turns white, right? Basically. And
Yeah.
then I think that's what's going to happen at the end of this movie. If the world is just going to end, but like we're going to have a good time along the way, because this is what Adam
Yeah.
McKay said, a quote about the film's plot, which kind of addressed some skepticism that I had about the movie.
Mhm.
It said, he said that it's not the most high concept, bizarre idea, the idea of a disaster movie in which people don't necessarily believe that the disaster is coming. It goes back to the trope of the mayor of Jaws. Love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get your name on the National Geographic. So it's two mid-level, very sincere astronomers who make the discovery of a lifetime, which is a killer asteroid headed toward Earth. And they have to warn everyone and have to go on a media tour, and it's them navigating our world. It's them navigating their equivalent of Twitter. It's them navigating the political landscape. It's them navigating talk shows and how they're perceived. It's DiCaprio and Lawrence and Rob Morgan trying to warn the world. It's a dark comedy. The world is really the movie is really about how we communicate with each other, and we can't even talk with each other. We can't even agree, and what the modern world has done with the way we communicate. So I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is
no,
going to be just a bunch of it's not going to end well. It's going to be.
Well, I think it's just going to be uh talking about like what's going on now more than anything.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's kind of
It's just
started as yeah.
yeah, it's just gonna talk about like how look guys, we have a stupid president. Remember that? And look guys, people disagree with each other. Remember that?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be famous people doing it instead. So we're gonna
I
have
remember
Leonardo DiCaprio doing it.
I remember you talking to me about this, and you said you didn't want it to be as dark and serious as Vice, correct? That's what you're comparing. Like you were
Well,
just
no,
comparing
not
it to
that.
his
I didn't
last
want it to
film.
be. Yeah, I no,
There
not.
was something
I
about
didn't mind the
Vice.
tone. Yeah, I didn't mind the tone of Vice. It's just the execution was just so choppy,
Mm.
and it was just so there were just so many things about it that like you can't tell. There were a lot of really great moments in it, but there were just very few and far between. It was fucking long as hell, and after a while, it was just dragged, and it just couldn't. They just never found their footing.
Mm.
But if
Okay.
he, like that's just one movie out of like a shit
A
ton of movies that
plethora of
he's
ones that
done.
he's done. Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
that
like
are
Step
really good.
Brothers and Talladega Nights and the other guys especially is like those movies right there, especially the other guys. Like when you watch something when like if you have any doubt with Adam McKay, like that and The Big Short are just
Mhm.
like okay,
Talladega Nights
like
goes under the radar though. Like it's
Talladega Nights is fucking great. Like
Sacha Baron
that
Cohen. You forget
movie
he's in
is
that.
yeah, no, that movie is pretty amazing. And don't forget Anchorman as well.
Yes.
His worst movie being Anchorman 2, but that's
That was probably fun
whatever.
along the way. I mean, he's notorious for making a lot of improv films. Like he lets
Mhm.
their actors do a lot of improv. That's because earlier on in his career, he did a lot of comedy, and later
Yeah,
on in his
he
career,
was the Saturday Night Live writer.
he did a lot of like satire, like
Mhm.
films, which were pretty heavy. Like Big Short showed that he has something that he's trying to say. He's not just making Will Ferrell comedies anymore, because he separates those categories, his filmmaking, into different categories. He's like, some are Will Ferrell movies, some are my films, even though he
Mhm.
made them. And I
Well, the
think
reason why he did The Big Short, I'm pretty sure, is because of the other guys. Because the other guys is about like the big banks taking
Oh, it
stuff
is.
from the
Yeah, it
little
was
guy.
a way more comedic take on an actual.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I see that. Yeah, and he said that with this film, Don't Look Up, that this is going to be a not as dark as Vice, and it's going to be more of it's more of a comedy than Big Short. So he said it's somewhere in between Big Short and the other guys, which has my attention. I'm like, that's a
Beautiful.
good median.
Yeah, just as long, like my main complaint, or my main concern is just like it being too like too on the nose and pants, a little too hardcore.
Mhm.
But this is a great cast though. I love Adam McKay, and I want to see DiCaprio and Lawrence fucking lighten the hell up too.
Yeah, I
So
hope this makes me
uh,
like Jennifer Lawrence a little bit. I keep getting texts from Blanca. She's like, "Why do you not like Jennifer Lawrence?" And I'm just like, she's just boring me. I haven't been blown away by her. I've only liked her in like 2 films probably.
well, she really declined for me after American, like because I loved her in American Hustle,
Yeah.
and after that she did Joy and a few other movies.
Was it
I
joy
was
about
with
the
you.
creation of that new mop? And they like even butchered that story because they took liberties, and the woman
Yeah,
was like, "Why would you take those liberties that made no sense to the story?" Like they
yeah,
made this
yeah. No, that was David O. Russell's last movie too.
until recently. He's coming out with another one. Oh yeah. I guess I know what you mean. I thought you meant like he's
Yeah.
gone. He's no, but yeah,
No. That was just his
that was
last
the
movie
last one that
since
came out.
since
Yeah,
then.
yeah. That was. I don't know why he did. It
But
was weird.
it's because he's a weird director. I mean, like look at American Hustle. American
He
Hustle
wanted
started
to
off the
win
same
he
thing.
wanted to try to win an Oscar and be like, I made a movie about a mop.
Yeah. But he that's what he did with American Hustle too, and with Silver Linings Playbook, where it's like he's doing these adaptations or he's doing stuff that's based on a true story. But in the end, he doesn't really care about those real people or what actually happened. He just wants to entertain
Make it an
people.
experience. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they
Same thing
have that
happened with Three
experience.
Kings. Yeah. He
Kinda,
doesn't like focus on what actually happened at all because he does not give a fuck because he's an asshole. But he's a great
yeah.
director, but he just doesn't give a fuck about you. He
Yeah.
doesn't care
Like,
about us.
which is insane because he does tell a good story most often than not. So
Yeah, that's a good part about it is that like at least he's a director that makes, besides Joy, of course, but at least like with
I'm
American
just gonna
Hustle and The
bleep out every
Fighter
time
and
we say joy.
yeah.
What is
Yeah.
they saying?
At least with the other ones like American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook and The Fighter, they're actually great movies, even though it's like, okay, this isn't actually what happened, but hey,
Yeah.
whatever. And the same thing with Three Kings. Three Kings was great.
Yeah. Don't look
But yeah,
up.
don't look up.
Big
Yeah.
ensemble. Yeah, this is supposed to come out this summer on Netflix. They only have like a couple shots of it on the Netflix trailer of the summer releases that they said. So look out for Don't Look Up.
Yeah, man, look out for that and fucking give us a trailer for Tick Tick Boom, Netflix, you assholes.
Yeah, I'm just I'm gonna tweet them every day for like a week.
I
'Cause I texted you. I was
started
like, I
doing
feel
it
like it's
and I gave
coming.
up.
Yeah.
I know, and you gave me so much false hope because I
It's just
thought
this
like there was like
feeling,
some
just
kind of
inkling
announcement.
feeling. No, there's no tease.
Oh
There's just a
man,
feeling inside. And we still haven't.
just a feeling
As of our
inside,
recording today, there is not one. Maybe by the time this airs, there is
dude.
one, hopefully. But
Oh
yeah.
my god, don't make me refresh my feed.
Netflix. Let's see some more stuff. They just let's get
Let's
to the
just see some
story.
more stuff.
Yeah, show us
And
more.
Red Notice, there's a lot of stuff like that they haven't given us that much.
Mhm.
Wait, did they release the trailer for Red Notice? The
No,
Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson?
they have not.
I didn't think so.
Did you watch Game of Thrones at all? Earlier on or anything at all?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I've watched some episodes, but it's just not my bag of ice right there.
Television, yeah, we've discussed television is not your realm, which is all right. And so this next one, we were getting a Game of Thrones reunion for anyone who watched it. They're getting Khal Drogo and Tyrion Lannister. It's Peter Dinklage and Jason Mamoa are teaming up for a film. The film is called Good, Bad, and Dead. Okay. It's produced by Legendary Pictures, which they make a lot of action films, really good action films. It's directed by Max Barbacow, Palm Springs. He directed Palm Springs.
Oh yes, okay. Then
Let me tell you what this movie is. All right, Peter Dinklage will play the legendary hunter Van Helsing. Good, Bad, and Dead follows Van Helsing, last in a long line of vampire hunters. He develops an uneasy partnership with a vampire played by Jason Momoa, who has taken a vow to never kill again. Together, they run a scam from town to town where Van Helsing pretends to vanquish the vampire for money. But when a massive bounty is put on Momoa's head, everything in this dangerous world full of monsters and magic is now after them.
I love it.
Isn't that good?
I'm with
It's
that
it's
more
it's based on
ways
an
than one.
original idea from Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, who uh, did 2009's Friday the 13th and the Baywatch reboot. But we'll see how this goes, because I trust the director and that they can do rewrites. Like, they can change the script on set. It doesn't matter. Like, it's
They
one of
also
those
did
things that
Freddy
I
versus
think
Jason.
it's one of those things where I think it's less reliant on the script and it's more reliant on the idea. But when they're kind of going to let them do it, like kind of an Adam McKay film, like just say whatever you need to say. We have the story there. And because this movie sounds awesome. They said it's a mixture of Midnight Run in a Bram Stoker world. So
Ooh. Yeah, no, that does sound that sounds like something that I definitely want to see.
Yeah, this was announced a year ago, almost, like to today, like from today. It was announced in 2020, and I haven't found anything else about that except that Peter Dinklage and Jason Momoa are also producing it. So they like, I like it when the actors are like, yeah, I'm gonna put my own investment into it. Sometimes that doesn't go well, but
Peter Dinklage I really like. I think that he's a really great actor.
He's gonna be our new Toxic Avenger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never saw those movies, but apparently they're very cult classic, and they're bringing them back with Peter Dinklage.
Okay. Oh, I just watched this movie with him called I Care a Lot.
I want to see
with
that.
With Rosamund Pike. It's not that good, but
Oh.
he's really good in it. Like, he is like, except how they treat like his last scene is a little, it fell off, but his performance overall is pretty damn solid. It's an okay movie, but I mean, like, it wasn't.
When I say Van Helsing, who do you think of? Do you think of a character?
Hugh Jackman.
Me too. I think there's like, I can't think of really any other one.
Yeah, no, I think Hugh Jackman, or I think about the dad from Liz McGuire, because he played Van Helsing and Mom's Got a Date with the Vampire.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, but I don't really think about Van Helsing a lot, but I mean, like, that sounds hysterical. I think Peter Dinklage deserves more roles, because he's just he's a great actor. He can do anything. He can do drama. He can do action movies. He can do.
Yeah, it took me a long time to realize that he was the one who was an elf. I didn't realize he was the businessman that Will Ferrell pisses off. Yeah, I didn't realize that was him until way later. I was like, what?
Dude, and that's the thing about him, is that, like,
because he's been around for so long too.
Yeah, he's done so many movies, and he will always take, like, any part. He'll do big parts. He'll do small parts. He'll do cameos. He'll be on TV shows. He'll be on movies. Like,
do you think they're gonna bring him back in the MCU? Because he was in the MCU too, dude. He got that MCU money. Was he? He's the one who helps Thor build his new hammer he's a huge dwarf. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Wait, maybe you didn't see it. What was the last one you saw? Infinity War? He's in Infinity War.
Last one I saw was
because he's in Infinity War.
Probably Infinity War, yeah. So
he's in that one.
Then I probably
saw him run. He's a giant. He's literally a giant that helps build.
Oh yeah, you know what? No, I think I do remember that. I totally fucking forgot that he was in 3 Billboards too.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie. That's
Francis
McDormand.
Yeah, anyway. Francis McDormand. I know you don't like Francis McDormand.
I don't. I liked her in Fargo, and I haven't liked her since. Let's see. What did you hear that there might be a Palm Springs too? I didn't write this down. This is just train of thought. There was an interview, and Andy Samberg was like, we're open to the idea. If we were to do it, it would be something like WandaVision, which is, you probably haven't seen WandaVision or caught up to it with it, but it's very bizarre. It's bizarre. They like go to different like genres in WandaVision, and it's like, what if Palm Springs did that? Because he's like, you don't know where they go in the end of Palm Springs. But then again, it's also one of those things where it wasn't planned as well. It's just like, we're just gonna
yeah.
But it's not official. Movie. This was just a question he answered. So
yeah,
there's nothing.
Just make another movie. That's just what I would say. I would say, like, get the same team, do something like they did with
just make a horror film if you want to make a different genre or something like that. Yeah, I see.
Or just do what Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright and Nick Frost did, or it's just like
hop around,
same actors, same writers, but
genre bend.
do a different movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I just actually rewatched Palm Springs the other night because I just couldn't sleep. And I was just saw
Have
it
you
on
watched it with
Hulu,
the
and I was like, just
commentary yet?
no. Is that an
Commentary
option?
version now, yeah, where you watch
Oh fuck
along
yeah! I'll
with
probably do that.
Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti.
I'll probably do that after this then.
It's
I'm
pretty
still
funny.
disappointed that she was not nominated for anything, and that movie wasn't nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
I think she's going to get nominated for an Emmy because she's in a TV show on HBO Max
Made
called
for Love.
Made for Love, which looks pretty insane.
Yeah, that does look insane. I'm waiting for it to be over so I can
Just
I can
binge it
watch
all, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get to
that's
our
what, dude.
last story.
Right now,
Wait, continue.
okay, yeah. I know. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm just got into the Mighty Ducks TV show, and I'm so upset at myself for doing that.
Why?
Because now I have to wait every fucking week.
Oh, it's a weekly release?
Yeah.
I was just talking to people today. I was like, should I watch? Because I haven't seen Mighty Ducks or Karate Kid, and they both have new generation shows which have the original characters back, so it's all like canon. And so I was like, should I watch Mighty Ducks or Karate Kid? And they said Mighty Ducks. And apparently there's a Minnesota connection, which I did not know. So I'm gonna watch Mighty Ducks.
That's why I think you should watch it, because that's actually the first thing. Because it just randomly started happening to me. I'm just gonna say this really quick, and then we can move on. But I mean, like,
I was just talking about Mighty Ducks because I'm gonna start it.
My buddy this guy that always comes into my work, he's just like talking about like Mighty Ducks all the fucking time, and he knows that I have his movie podcast now, and so he's just like, dude, bring me on there sometime so we can watch Mighty Ducks. And I was like, dude, I haven't seen Mighty Ducks in so long. I don't even think I like Mighty Ducks.
I don't even know if I like it.
I don't even remember much. I'm not an Emilio Estevez fan.
Yeah,
I haven't been in hockey in so long. I was just like, dude, that movie's like that's so my past. That's another Justin. Yeah. I want to read. And then I watched the first one, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah, that's before me.
Watched the second one.
I'm very excited to see it.
No, but the entire time I was watching the first one, I was like, because all of them are set in Minnesota.
Oh,
and so
okay.
and they're all actually filmed in Minnesota too.
Yeah.
So there are a bunch of different Minnesota spots that, like, every single time I'm watching, I was like,
yeah, I was talking
this
to
is a perfect trilogy to watch with Elijah.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends, and they're like, yeah, dude, that's like a Minnesota movie, dude. They got Mickey's Diner in there, and I'm like, what? Oh yeah, it is a Minnesota movie.
No, but it also reminded me of my love for hockey and everything. Like, dude, no, I'm majorly into Mighty Ducks right now. And the TV show, I'm just shocked. It's one of those revival TV shows. I'm just like, this does not need to be this good. Like, why? Who the fuck made it this good? Who did this?
That's apparently what it's like with Cobra Kai too, because Netflix wanted to bought it from YouTube. Apparently, I haven't seen them though, so it's like it's like, which one am I going to start? I'm going to watch them eventually. I think we'll see. I might not watch
Cobra Kai. Well, the Karate Kid's another thing for me, where like I haven't seen them in so long, and people always talk about it, and I'm just like, dude, I don't think I'm ever gonna get into it. The Mighty Ducks movies, I binged all 3 of them and the first 5 episodes of the TV show all in the same night.
Imagine being someone when they came out when you were a kid, and now they're making a show, and you're like, wow, all these characters are coming back.
Yeah. Well, it's just like
imagine what show is gonna happen like that with our kid.
There was something. What was it? There was something that came out that affected.
Oh, well, kind of. They came out with the sequel to Cory in the House, or not Cory in the House. Boy Meets World. Well, that Boy Meets World though, they made a sequel to that.
Yeah, a Girl Meets World, sequel. Raven's Home.
I'll call them legacy sequels because they like.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Which are happening a lot right now. So
a little too much.
Let's get to
Mighty Ducks. It all works. It all works very much.
I'm glad. I'm excited
Mighty
for
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks. I'm going to revisit.
Everybody watch it every Friday on
Disney Plus. This last film.
Forget about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just watch Mighty Ducks.
That's all you. I don't pay for Disney Plus. I pay for my subscription for a subscription of Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
Damn Stugans.
Do you know the stand-up comedian Bert Kreischer?
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to talk about. Now.
So I'm not too familiar with his stand-up. He's a stand-up comedian. I am familiar with him through his collaboration with Tom Segura a lot and like the podcasts they do. I think I've seen some of his Bert Kreischer stand-up, but he's hilarious. So I would recommend checking out his stuff, just him as a person, like his podcasts and stuff. I think he's hilarious. He has a movie coming out called The Machine, which is based on a stand-up set that he has, which is a comedy album.
It's the thing that made him famous.
It's his special called The Machine, which came out in 2016 and it went viral after he released it. And it's got so many views. That one story that this is based on got so many views, like to today. It's like record breaking. It makes sense why they're making a movie about this. I was skeptical at first because there's some films, well, just one film in particular that I saw that's based on a stand-up set, which is Sleepwalk with Me by Mike Birbiglia. It's literally his stand-up set, and I loved it. And I love Mike Birbiglia. He's literally my number one favorite stand-up comedian as a storyteller. I like him. He's my favorite. So I was okay with that, but I saw it with people and they're like, why would we see that if it's just the same story that he's told and that we know? Because it's literally just like almost verbatim of his comedy.
Yeah.
And
it's a visual representation.
Yeah, which I was okay with because he does it well. Can you think of another movie that's based off a stand-up set? Because I couldn't think of another one besides that.
It's just TV shows, really. Like Everybody Loves Raymond and
oh yeah, situational kind
and
of
Seinfeld.
True.
Yeah, like those. That's what. But I mean, like you don't really see it a lot with movies. With this, so yeah, I mean, like the Machine is supposed to be about like because if you know about the Bert Kreischer story, he partied with these Serbians basically.
Yeah.
And
when he was 22.
So this movie's supposed to be So this movie's supposed to be like what could happen if those Serbians came back in his life. And isn't his dad supposed to be like Mark Hamill?
Yes. So the story of The Machine,
which I'm sure about because
it goes as it's a genre-bending comedy by Bert's real life from that set, The Machine. It's Bert's drunken past catches up to him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk on a college semester abroad in Russia. So it's kind of like a sequel to that stand-up set, a fictional sequel to that stand-up set, which is a cool approach, I thought.
The thing is with it is a cool approach, but he's just how can I say this without being mean? He's deeply unfunny.
You don't like him?
Like that's his only thing that actually no, I
yeah,
don't.
that's a good story. I would recommend.
It's the same thing I feel. It's the same thing I feel about Doug Benson, where it's like once you're done with their one shtick, then it's over. Like everything else that they do just tries to replicate what they've done before in the past.
Interesting.
With Bert Kreischer especially, all he does now, if a joke doesn't land, he just takes off his shirt. That's it. And then
because on the stand-up set
he pours beer on himself.
Yeah, on all of his stand-up sets, he just doesn't have a shirt anymore because he like is using his body as a joke if his verbal jokes don't work, which is I can kind of see that. That's why I'm like, I'm not familiar with his stand-up stuff. This is like the first set I saw, but I like his podcast and he makes me laugh in conversation. I haven't seen much of him by himself. So I feel like I'm like introducing you to a friend. I'm like, I don't know him that well.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, he's something. He's something. And I just wish that because that story is really, really fucking funny. And he did used to say some funny ass shit. Did you know that he was the inspiration for Van Wilder?
No way. I did not.
Yeah, so Rolling Stone, they did an article on Bert Kreischer because he was this party liaison who was just throwing all these fucking crazy ass parties, and not just that, he was the only college student in Harvard who refused to leave too because he just wanted to keep partying. But he was doing good in school. But
yeah, because
so that's what they created Van Wilder because of him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like, he has history. No, he's lived a crazy life. No, he's a, like, I can see it working if he was just like kind of what they did with Van Wilder, where he's just the inspiration. If he's starring in it though, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. It reminds me of you know what this actually exactly this sounds like, that Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn movie.
That was a remake, wasn't it? Oh, Snatched, yeah. That's exactly what.
No, it wasn't a remake.
I think they got exactly hold. I feel like a studio. I think a studio got hold of Bert Kreischer's script and was like, "Oh, someone's making this. We could make it better."
Yeah, And if they get somebody else that's not him, and he's like just maybe like an executive producer, or he's a co-writer on the script or something,
It's gonna be
and
him.
they get someone to be his spot, and they keep Mark Hamill, then I can see it working out. Just I can see it potentially working out.
Just have a fictional version of Bert. I could maybe see that. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be stuff when we look back on our stories of just like, we should make a movie about that. That's the beautiful thing about
Oh yeah, man.
storytelling of lives.
Well, that's the thing. That's how Kevin Smith did Tusk, because they were just going through Craigslist, and they found this ad, this guy being like, I'll let you live in my house, but you have to live in a walrus costume,
Oh,
and
wow.
you gotta act like a walrus, you gotta
Real
eat like a
life is
walrus, but you
insane,
live here for
man.
free.
Real
Yeah,
life. There's some real
but
life.
it turns out it was a prank, but still, like,
Right.
well, like Kevin Smith read that with Scott Mosier, and they both literally
Just ran with it.
wrote Tusk that entire podcast. And if you watch Tusk, if you stay like halfway through the credits, he plays the podcast, so you
Oh,
can hear
wow.
them writing it as the credits are rolling.
That's
That's
insane.
why I love that
I didn't
movie
know
so
that.
much. So these kinds of things can definitely work. It's just getting the right people involved. And
Mhm.
who knows, maybe Bert Kreischer. I mean, like, if Mark Hamill really does stay involved with it, then that's awesome, because Mark Hamill's a tough cookie to crack. Even to get like to be Luke Skywalker, he has something to say to you. like
Yeah.
when Rian Johnson did Last Jedi, he was flat out like, just when he was promoting the movie, he was like, this isn't my movie. This isn't my kind of movie right here. But hey, I'm here. I'm glad to be back. But
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't really like this. So if Mark Hamill's still sticking around, then fuck yeah. Because the last movie that I saw him in that wasn't Star Wars was Brigsby Bear. I loved Brigsby Bear.
I still have to see that. I get
So,
recommended it a lot, but
oh my God, Elijah, you would love Brigsby Bear.
well, that's all of the news stories we have.
Yeah, no, that's those are some good ones. Let's hope for the best for the Steve Martin show, though.
Oh, that's the one takeaway that we're
That's the
gonna go.
one. That's the only one that you told me about.
I like that I'm gonna
I did not
pitch all of
know.
these stories to you. Which one stuck out? I like that game.
Yeah, no, that
we're
we
gonna
can do
pin.
it because
We're gonna pin that one. Yeah, once they start
Steve
releasing stuff.
Martin is close to my heart. So
And Martin
just to
Short.
see him again. I love Martin Short too.
We got a DCOM to revisit.
Yes,
You saw
dude,
this one?
We need to get an intro for these DCOM.
Yeah, we
Revisited.
do it often enough that I think we should get one. Yeah,
We should,
yeah.
because this is the ultimate
a little
segment.
jingle that we can play. Yeah.
Yeah. DCOM Revisited.
Perfect.
DCOM Revisited.
So last week we learned that Brink, which is the film we are revisiting this week, is from 1998. It's from 1998. It is inspired by a story from the 1865, Hans Brinker or the Silver Skates, which is insane. What did you think about Brink?
Let's break down the story.
What it is first. Okay.
Yeah, let's because that's important before we really like dive into our thoughts and feelings.
Sure, okay.
Do you want me to explain the plot?
Yes.
Or would you like to? Okay, so Andy, so Andy, aka Brink, his last name is Brinker, but his friends like to call him Brink because why the Brink not? He is the leader of a group of these professional skaters, these roller skaters, though they're not skaters. This is mid 90s. Jonah Hill wasn't even a thing yet. So he wants to do this all for fun. That's the beginning. Him and his buds, they're all doing this shit for fucking fun.
They're just soul skating.
And they have this they're just fucking soul skating, man. And then there's this like rival group, and they're not doing it for fun. They're fucking sellouts. They're corporate, man.
They're making
They're
that
getting
moolah.
money though, and they're making that moolah. And Brink is seeing all this moolah, and he hears his dad, played by one of the fucking officers, the gun-toting officer in the Police Academy films, all 6 of them, by the way.
Holy crap!
He finds out his dad might be losing his construction job, and so Brink decides he is going to join forces with the rival skating group so that he can get $200 a fucking week, while his real friends are doing nothing. And this is a story about Brink really trying to come to terms with what is fun about skating and what is most important about it, while also maintain his friendships and his relationship with his own padre. How was that? That was pretty. I felt like I nailed that.
That's exactly, yeah. It's about a kid who's taking care of his family and struggling whether or not to do something for the love of it or for the money, and he struggles. Perfect. Yeah, that was
something that literally everybody can relate
yeah.
to.
But not when you're a kid. This is like very intense, actually.
It is a very intense movie for a kid.
Because there's also the dad. There's a storyline with the dad and the mom. And they're struggling to get disability for his dad. And that's like, that's not a child subject that a child's going to listen to and fully understand, I feel like. It's it's heavy storylines.
So we also have so the kid that plays Andy Brinker is Eric Von Detten, who also did quite a few things. One of his main thing is that he voiced Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah, Sid from Toy Story. That's insane.
The Princess Diaries, he played student Josh Bryant. So he was a Disney kid, but this is like the only time Disney was like, hey, we're gonna give you the lead role. And he also voiced the kid in one of the kids in Recess as well. So he's Disney had this kid wrapped around their fingers.
He was on call for anything extra.
He was on call. He also played Flint, the gorilla in Tarzan.
Oh yeah, the young Flint.
Yeah, Homeboy was everywhere. Okay, this kid, he was also in one of the TV movies, one of the TV sequels for Escape to Witch Mountain. Disney liked this kid enough, and then they were like, you know what? He had the face, and Disney, they were like, let's just give him our third Disney Channel original movie, and we're just gonna have him say the wackiest dialogue in human history, but he's gonna be doing it so fucking straight. he's gonna do it so real, so honestly, so genuine. And guess what? In the end of this movie, everyone is going to fucking love Brink. Because guess what, man?
He's a perfect
Brink
guy.
is one of the greatest.
He's one of the greatest
DCOM of all time. Yeah,
this character just does everything that he's just trying to make everyone better that he touches. And
he's trying to make everybody happy. He's trying to please everybody, but he is also like he's trying to please everybody, but he does it in very stupid and kind of selfish ways because he's a kid.
Yeah.
But this movie also has every single character in this movie is memorable and they're fun.
Gabriella is
I just like
favorite characters. The girl that
dude
best friend.
Yeah, she was
whole
great.
Relationship is incredible, and the heart to heart they have about after she gets hurt is so good. I love all.
Also, the fact that they don't make her into this just a love interest, because that's what I was thinking the entire time. And the fact they didn't go that route with either him or his buddy too, which seems like that's more of his best friend, but who knows. I think that character's name is Jimmy. You keep thinking that Gabrielle is going to end up like hooking up with them, but nope, it's just they're all just fucking friends. And I just love that, because this movie reminded me a lot of Pixel Perfect in certain ways, and one of the ways being that it's exceeding our expectations while doing things that we've seen in 1,000 movies before. And it just, the execution of this movie is pretty solid, and the way that it's filmed shocked the hell out of me. It was filmed.
It's got this awesome.
It was great
film glow.
Yeah, and all these kids too. Not to mention, all these fucking kids are doing their own skating stunts.
For the most part, yeah. There's like some scenes where there's like a backflip in slow motion. It's clearly a stuntman, but yeah, they do those like they are doing a lot of flips. Yeah,
they are doing a lot of stuff. Like there were a lot of sequences where it's just them skating around, and I thought it was going to get very repetitive after a while. But the thing is that I loved about those sequences is seeing they're actually doing this shit. Like, of course, there are some scenes where they have some stunt doubles, but there's one in particular where they're like hopping over some stairs and the camera just stays on them.
Oh yeah.
And you see and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. These kids are actually fucking doing something.
The
This
bad
this
guy in
this is
this
cool.
movie is good too. Like
Hell
what are they
yeah.
called?
He's
What
so
is the
over the
team
top.
called? They're called Team X
Oh
Blades,
man.
but the
X-Blades.
jealousy of the Val, his name's Val, I believe, the bad guy. He gets so
Mhm.
jealous once he's technically on the same team as Brink, and they like does something awesome, and then just because of his ego and his jealousy, he's like, do it again, because he knows he might hurt
Yeah.
his team again. And that tension in that scene was so good, where he's like, just do the trick again. He knows that he's trying to get
Mhm.
Brink hurt or something and just prove him wrong, and Brink's not
Oh
happy.
yeah, no,
Brink just goes and does it
he's
again.
he's an asshole, but he's like one of those Disney assholes that are just like
He's smart
so
though.
memorable
He's smart.
and kind of like in the end of the movie too, you're kind of like, even though I know he's an asshole, I still kind of like him. I
Yeah.
kind of want to hang, I
Like
kind of want to hang
that
out with him
prank
just to
war
see what
scene. Don't
stupid
be
ass
a
things he'll
wuss.
say.
That part was so memorable. Don't be a wuss.
Oh, I loved
And then
that.
that scene
I
with the worms,
loved
where they put
that.
the worms in his sandwich, and there's no hesitation with him picking it up and biting it. They didn't
Mhm.
they didn't linger on that at all. I was like, oh my god,
So good.
that was the cringiest thing. I had never cringed that hard in a movie in so long. Probably not since like probably Ready or Not. There's a really gross scene where she like impales her hand on a nail or something. Like
Mm.
that type of stuff. It felt like that level of cringe where I'm like, oh
Oh
my
yeah, because
god, I don't want to see this.
you see the worms like
See the worm squirting
squirming
out.
and like,
Yeah.
and it has, yeah, no,
There
it's
is
pretty
no
sick.
thing in the credits that says no worms were harmed in the making, because worms were
No,
definitely
I bet.
that's maybe I don't know. It
Worms
was
were,
just gross. The prank war was
yeah. How to eat
is
fried
good.
worms, Brink edition. Yeah, no, so this was I had a really great time with it. It's definitely in the top for me
Mhm.
of all that we've done so far. This is definitely like, because you Elijah messaged me when he was watching you, and he said he thought it's like this is my favorite one,
Yes, can
and
confirm this is still.
it got me nervous because I was like, shit, what if I don't like it?
Yeah, that would have been
But
fine.
I watched it and I was like, damn, no, like he's right. And then when I looked it up, like, and I was seeing like what other people had to say, like what critics had to say and stuff,
Mhm.
seems like everybody's in unison being like, this is the best
Because the
DCOM
stakes are
movie that
high in this,
ever.
like everything that's
And
riding
they're
on
just personal
everything.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
like when there's a
it's not
scene
one of
where
those high
Gabriella,
concepts.
yeah, there's a scene where Gabriella and Brink fight or race, and it's like the tension in that
Mhm.
moment. It was insane. You don't know what's gonna happen, and when something does happen and you don't like it, you're like, oh my god, this is getting
Well,
worse.
that
It was like Uncut
yeah.
Gems. Brink, you're getting worse and
Mhm.
worse. You can't handle
No,
this.
no, this is definitely it sticks out the most because it's just like you said, like it's just like it's not like the other movies that we've seen like Xenon or Stuck in the Suburbs or Pixel Perfect, where they are these like really high concepts storylines, and you know they're trying to like put in some relatability with the characters, but in the end it's like, okay, no, this is pretty wacky. Like Pixel Perfect is pretty much the only one, and
There's less
Xenon where I
quirk.
was like, yeah, but this movie, yeah, no, it's less quirky and it's just fucking honest. And like
Yeah,
I think
there's
everyone's been in a situation that Brink has been in, that
yes,
Brink is in. And
yes,
that's like one of the things that like that was most shocking to me, because I've never seen a Disney Channel movie like this
yeah.
before.
Because Brink just
Because
works
like I
so
said,
hard,
when we
and when you
were
see someone work so hard, you're just like, that's just
mhm,
inspiring to see in a good story of that. You want to see a good story of someone working for something, and that the Brink
yeah.
does that very well. That he's chasing something for a reason, and that's a good reason in this movie. It shows that.
Well,
It was
it
good.
has a great has great messages too, where
Yes.
it's just like, don't, yeah, like that. There's this one scene where his dad's giving him like this pep talk, and he says, basically says to him that like a skater isn't who he is, and he keeps saying that like his name. He's like, that's who you are,
Yeah, like you
and
skateboard or you skate, but you're not a skater. Like you
yeah, that's not
that sort of
who
thing.
you are.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do
it's
that,
what
but
you
that's
do.
exactly that
Yeah,
scene. It's in the
and
garage. If you watch the movie, it's very good. That's one of the moments I teared up
it
once
is.
or twice. Both of them were the heart to hearts with
I teared up once.
yeah, my heart. Yeah, it's revealing twice. It's like that Shrek guy, or yeah, oh, the security. But they're this. I feel like I recognize the sister from somewhere. Can you find out what she was in? I
I can
feel
already tell you.
there's two lines that I really liked from her. There's where he's asking for advice from his family. He's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And she's just like, "Skate better," because that's what me and
Yeah.
my brother tell each other. We're just like, just do it better. Like, just do it. That
I
was
love
one of
his
my favorite parts.
response to it. So he's just like, "Oh, skate better." And
Yeah,
he just
that's
keeps saying, he's like, "Skate better," and you
yeah, I
hear
loved
he
it.
gets off frame, and you still hear him
He's
say, "I just gotta skate better." It's
I
just so
love that
sarcastic. Like,
so
fuck
much.
yourself.
And then there's another line where she just tells him like it is. She's just like the parents are like, I don't know what's going on with Brink. And the sister's like, yeah, what a moody little sack of hormones. I was like, holy cow.
It's a line
That's
right there.
funny.
So that girl is also in another Disney Channel original movie. That's a classic that I've actually, people have been telling me to tell us to watch it since we started this. It was Smart House.
Oh,
Yep,
I
she
knew
was
I
the
saw
little
her
girl,
somewhere.
little sister in that too. She was just a
That's
little
funny.
sister in a lot of Disney Channel original movies. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we need a little sister character who's snarky.
Yeah.
Call what's her face.
Call her up.
Who's what's her face? We don't remember her name. We just kind of just put her in stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, every single person in this movie like was funny, or they had something likable about them, or they had
Mhm.
something important to talk about. It was an interesting movie, and even though the slang gets a little ridiculous, especially Brink, man. Brink gets the actor Eric Von Detten.
Mhm.
He goes a little too hard with the lingo, but like there's
And
a scene where he's talking
it
to his
seems
dad,
like
and
he
his dad
changed
is like, "I don't
overnight
even know
too.
you."
Yeah, his
It
dad's like, "What is
does.
going on?" It seems like he just woke up one morning and started doing this, and his dad's like, "What is going on?"
He's like a Bill and Ted type character, saying like he's not saying tubular. I can't think of like the actual words that he was using. He's like saying peace out and shit. Like he
Yeah, all
just says
that
these things,
super
and I'm
90s.
like, it is super 90s, but it just felt kind of forced. Like you can tell that that actor does
He
not
didn't use
know
that
how to talk like
language.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's not
didn't
how he
know
actually
how to
talked at all.
actually. Yeah, and it's one of those things that you and I are talking about, like with our Mitchells versus Machines review out now.
Mhm.
Um, like how we're talking about, it doesn't feel like, and with Mitchell's versus Machines, it doesn't feel like a 80-year-old man is writing this dialogue.
What I was gonna ask you last week what your nostalgia rating for this movie would be, because I want to start doing it the week before when we introduce it, just to see
Hmm.
how we remember. But you had said that you had confused this one with super or motocross, because you're like,
Yes, I
isn't
did.
motorbikes? So we couldn't do a nostalgia rating last week,
Hmm.
but we'll say the nostalgia rating this week is how it captures the time it was created.
Hmm.
How would you think the nostalgia is for that?
I would say like a 4. I would say a
I would
4.
have to agree too. I would honestly, because there's a lot of ska from the get go. The 90s glow is beautiful, and some shots
Yeah.
look like early Michael Bay shots or something. And I'm like, huh, okay. There's like a lot of
Hmm.
sweeping shots of the beach at sunset. And it's like, okay. But it's not a bad thing because the shot is beautiful. It's just, it's
Hmm.
say it's Michael Bay esque. But yeah, I think nostalgia would be like a 4 because it really captures, I think, a very 90s feel.
Yeah. No, I
So I'd give it a
definitely
4 for
agree.
nostalgia as well. What would you give it as a real rating as your age
I would
now?
probably do the same. I'll probably raise it up just a little bit though. I'll do like a 4 point, like 4.3,
You gave it a
because
higher
it's
score than
not.
me. I gave it a 4.2.
Oh, no way. Oh, check that
Yeah.
out. Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's definitely the best one. Like with the writing standpoint, with the directing standpoint, with acting, with
Yeah, I could
characters,
take a
like
lot of
all of
stuff.
it is like, yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely one of the better ones. We've gone through,
This is our 5th.
yeah, like from uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So we've we've been doing a lot of these, and so far I can only say that 3 of them are ones that I would watch again.
Yeah, yeah.
Being this, Pixel Perfect, and Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. So I was thinking, Elijah, for our next one, I want to do 2 options. I'm going to give you 2 options, okay?
Mhm.
So option A is that we go back to our roots and we can complete the Xenon trilogy by doing the sequel.
There's
Or
3.
B, yes, no, there are 3, but we're just
So
gonna be doing the
continue.
sequel.
Oh, continue
Yeah,
this. Okay.
continue on. So we can do that,
Mm.
or we can go for something else that's pretty fucking weird that I remember when I was a kid that I really liked, but it is very, very strange. Do you want to go strange, or do you
Oh,
want to
so
just go?
I get option A, which I know, or B,
I'm not even gonna tell you
wild
the
card.
B is the wild card.
Um,
It's all up to
well,
you too.
yeah, let's wait for I want to wait for the sequel.
You want to do this equal,
I want
or
to
you
wait.
want to go
I'm
weird?
gonna wait for it to
You
do
want to
that.
wait? Okay. So this weird one. I'm glad you did that because I actually really want. I really wanted to
Okay,
rewatch this one.
this is
So
what we're
this one
doing next.
stars. Yes, if you want to, unless you want to.
I'm down to do another one.
Yeah. So this one stars one half of Ali and AJ. And she was also in the hit TV show Phil of the Future. This movie also stars Frank Langella, who's in such movies as Robot and Frank. You played Richard Nixon and Frosted Nixon. He was in The Trial of Chicago 7. Yes, he was.
Cowbells?
No, it's not. It is Now You See It.
Oh, the magic one.
Yeah, the magic one, baby. Yes.
Wow.
So I wanted to watch this one because this was another one that my brother and I really loved. And the reason why I mentioned it is because I was talking to my brother recently, and we were talking about Disney Channel movies, and he was like, "What's that one about the magic?" I was like, "Oh my god, the one with the magic!" And I just remembered there's certain scenes in that movie that stayed with me for a long time, and one of them is because of Frank Langella. And it just reminded me that that's the first movie I've ever seen Frank Langella is in.
When I see his face, I'm probably going to be like, this is the first time I saw him too, because I know who that is now.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him seeing him
so
when I was
Elijah,
younger.
this is another thing though, Elijah. As the director of this film, he's also an accomplished editor. All right. You ready for this? He edited films such as More American Graffiti, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, technically the third one, Blue Velvet, the David Lynch film, Wild at Heart, another David Lynch film, 18 episodes of Twin Peaks in 2017, and he also directed such things as Double Teamed, which is... I
love that one. I want to watch that one eventually.
The 13th Year.
I like that one.
Right on Track, Tiger Cruise, and Halloween Town.
He was an editor for David Lynch.
He was an editor for David Lynch, and he also directed.
He directed Halloween Town.
He directed Halloween Town.
Do you think they approached him because they're like, "Hey, can you give us some of that dark David Lynch kind of?"
Yeah, he was a director for Twin Peaks too. He was a David Lynch guy. He also directed Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, and Little Giants. So this guy has been involved with the world. He was also this is not done. I hope he didn't think that this was done. He's also an additional editor.
Yeah, go.
He's also an additional editor for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Throw Mama from the Train, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dragon Slayer, and 3 Warriors, and the Black Stallion.
Wow.
So this guy is it's important. I feel like we have to do the world the justice of honoring this weirdo. Well, that's the thing about these old school Disney Channel movies, that they really did hire like talented, capable people.
Yeah, like it wasn't just been consistent.
Yeah, it's not just like, you know, like them just being like, fuck it, like kind of like how they're doing now, which I was thinking soon, instead of like, if we ever do, like, of course we have so much more Disney Channel original movies to get through, right. But soon, instead of like doing a DCOM Revisited, we do a DCOM Now or something like that, called something, where we watch newer Disney Channel movies,
giving it a chance.
Yeah.
DCOM's so Now, giving it a shot. Too. Yeah.
Yeah, DCOM's Now. Yeah, let's give it a shot. So also the guy that wrote Now You See It is the Spawn of Satan. He is a co-producer for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Ladies of London, The Real Housewives of Orange County, and he was also a producer of Fear Factor. So we have the Spawn of Satan who wrote the movie as well. But
Interesting. That's weird.
Now You See It is the only thing that he wrote, the only movie that he wrote.
And then he did a bunch of reality. What?
Then he did a bunch of reality. I know, right? It's really weird. That's why I'm telling you. I'm glad that you chose this one because I had all this information out. And I was like, if he doesn't choose this and he's gonna do the sequel, I'll still have all this stuff saved for next week. But
that's
I would have preferred to.
I'm excited to learn about this film. I don't remember. I just remember the cover, honestly, because we have to do a nostalgia rating this week to think of what we remember about it. See, because I remember the poster. It's very blue. I remember the kid. He kind of looks like a weird James McAvoy type or something. But
yes, he does. I actually thought in my head that it was fucking James McAvoy's.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I remember about it. I don't remember what the plot is. I don't think maybe it's a heist, or I don't know if he's cheating on a test. I don't know what this film is. I just remember the poster. So my nostalgia rating is going to be pretty low.
Mine's gonna be high. Mine's gonna be probably a solid 5 because this was one of those movies. This movie came out right after. I think this was the movie after High School Musical, where Disney Channel was really people were now talking about those movies a lot more.
Because Ali Mashaka, I think her name is, from Phil of the Future. She
one of my loves,
coming off her fame of Phil. Phil had just ended, I believe. Or it was about to end. And it was
I think it was about
she's
to
doing
end.
Movies. She's doing movies. Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry. Just because Phil's ending, she's still on Disney Channel, sort of thing.
And she does a cover. Her and her sister do a cover of Do You Believe in Magic, I believe.
That's from that. Maybe I do remember this. Yeah. Her and her sister still make really good music. Please listen to them.
Yes, they do.
Ali and AJ.
Yes, they do.
Oh man, I'm excited for that. Yeah, my nostalgia rating's a 2 for it because I don't remember too much of it. I remember the poster. That's enough. Yeah. Go.
You want me to give you a synopsis? Yeah. Of the film because I love I don't remember if it's a heist or if it's a guy cheating on a test.
Yeah,
those are neither.
Go either way. Oh, really? He's with magic.
Neither one's involved with magic.
Is it a talent show?
No, it's about kind of. This is what I remember.
Right.
So, Ali from Ali and AJ is this videographer, and she films her I think it's her best friend, or I can't remember if it's her best friend or just a video subject. And this person's a really accomplished magician, and he's this high school kid who's just like he's really angsty though, but he's like a fucking great magician. So she finds this school made by Frank Langella, who's kind of like the walking version of Professor X. And the more leg capable Professor X. And they go to the school, and weird shit happens, and I'm pretty sure kids fucking die in this movie.
Wow. Yeah.
But who knows? I could be wrong. I haven't seen this as a kid.
So we'll find out next week.
It's just from what I can remember. Yeah, we are going to find out next week.
We'll find out.
I'm probably going to find out within the next few minutes.
Yeah. Now you see
it.
And we will be reviewing
the one without Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
And Isla Fisher.
The original. So yeah, we're
and Michael Caine
next week. Hopefully you visit it with us. We'll see you guys next week. This was History of Popcorn. We're on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everything you listen to podcasts. Yeah, then we'll just see each other next week for the next DCOM and some more news. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get some hot news.
Yes. Remember to like and subscribe.
Click that
button. Hit that bells. Yeah, no, not click that button. Hit them bells.
You can click whatever button you want, but make sure you hit that notification.
You can hit every button besides that big X, red X.
Oh, you had one job, dude. Yeah.
Let's just stop this.
Yeah, we're just gonna go now. It's just time to go. It's just. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's commit.
Wouldn't that be great if this was one of my beach pictures? This is a portrait someone drew of me. Isn't this nice?